I think the Soul Stone is more well designed than it looks at first glance. And I mostly think Watsy deserves props for this mana rock. Now, before you cook me in the comments, let me explain. As powerful as this rock is, I think it's not nearly as much a staple as it looks at first glance. Plus, the Soul Stone and likely other upcoming Infinity Stones do a lot for monocolor, which need help. So, the reason I think the Soul Stone is less of an auto include than some players think has to do with the proper dials being turned in design. As good as this card is, it does have some issues that other mana rocks don't usually have. So, for starters, look at that mana cost. 1 and a black. This means you can't play it off Soul Ring, or Ancient Tomb, or just any old mana. You have to already have black mana to play this rock. A trivial task for a low color deck like Mono Black or a 2 color deck, I admit, but quickly becomes less ideal for 3+ color decks. You know, if you're playing Esper and have a Hallowed Fountain and an island, you'd probably prefer an Arcane Signet or a Felwar Stone in your opening hand over this. And not only is this demanding to cast for a mana rock, but because you already have black mana, it doesn't even mana fix for you like an Arcane Signet or a Talisman. With this in mind, I'd argue it's an actual decision to make before you just blindly run this outside of a mono black deck. Especially because 3+ color decks can already be loaded up on Talismans if they want. There are multicolor decks that don't even want a super high number of rocks. And Arcane Signet, Felwar Stone, and 3 Talismans is already more 2-drop rocks than I personally play, and basically any of my 3-color decks. So this means that in practice, I think this isn't the staple it appears to be. High color decks already have more flexible rocks as far as more mana production goes, so it's likely not a great decision to make room for this in your Mardu or your Sultai deck. But beyond that, like I touched on earlier, the existence of this rock is a huge buff for monocolor. So, monocolor ramp packages, they are not in a great spot right now. While your multicolor neighbors get access to so many mana rocks, they are spoiled for choice. Monocolor decks are forced to play only Arcane Signet and Felwar Stone, which is much worse when you're in monocolor. And then after that, you have to go to Charcoal Diamond, a card that is fine, but a little underpowered. But with the Soul Stone now, Mono Black can run more rocks akin to Talismans and don't have to be more limited in this area just because they are less on colors. I like anything that can lower the gap a little bit between monocolor and multicolor decks, which already have so much to work with. This is a great design for that. As an example, I'm going to run the Soul Stone in Malphagor, but I don't think I'm going to run this in like Kalia or 5-color Omnath. It's going nowhere near those. So, in conclusion, I like the design of this Infinity Stone quite a bit and think it's a healthy step in the right direction that is buffing monocolor. It makes me genuinely excited to see the other stones. As somebody who plays a lot of monocolor, the lack of extra mana rocks really does suck sometimes. I'm especially excited for the Time Stone, which I'm guessing will be the blue one, but I guess we'll have to see. Anyway, thanks for watching. You have a good one, everyone.